So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. So now, guys, we know that Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence fight is not happening. But there's some good news. I don't know whether you guys are gonna believe it, but Manny Pacquiao has said that he's willing to face Errol Spence after he recovers from his injury. And Errol Spence has also said we're looking to fight the winner of Pacquiao and Ugas. So, to be honest with you, I think everybody's pulling in the right direction. It's not a case where this fight is completely off, and it's not a case where I don't think we're ever going to see this fight. I think this fight will happen down the road, because I think Pacquiao probably wants it, and I think he's hungry, and I think he's determined, and he'll probably be hungry and determined to put on a performance against Ugas. I think Gamel was right where he said that Manny Pacquiao is going to be motivated, determined, and he's going to be looking to put on a great performance. 100%. I think he'll be a little bit frustrated, agitated that the fact that, the fight that he wanted has fallen through. But unfortunately, this is boxing, and I can't really remember a big Manny Pacquiao fight that has ever fallen through. I can't ever remember like a fight of Manny Pacquiao in recent years that hasn't happened when it's been scheduled to happen. So this is probably something that's out of the norm for Manny as well, because like I said, most guys that Manny signs up to fight end up fighting him, probably because of the opportunity, the money, everything. But again, like I said yesterday, if you are injured, you're injured. I don't want to be Errol Spence going in there, because here's the thing: if Manny was to beat Errol Spence in that condition, and we realize that he had a broken eye socket, everyone's gonna say, well, he had a broken eye socket. He wasn't the same guy. So I'd rather see Manny fight a fully fit Errol Spence, and see if Manny can beat a fully fit Errol Spence, rather than having a guy in there that's not at his best. And Manny's not going to get the full credit for a win if he was to pull it off. So at the end of the day, I think the best thing happened either way. Manny Pacquiao is still going to fight. He's still going to get paid. He's still, he can win the belt back off Ugas. That's another thing. If Manny Pacquiao beats Ugas, he can win the belt back. And then we've got a proper unification between Spence and Pacquiao. So that makes it even more tasty when they do fight. Errol Spence has also said that he'll be coming for the winner. Now, a lot of people were speculating. This is what a lot of people were saying on the live stream yesterday, that, how is Errol Spence going to come back when, Errol Spence has suffered a broken eye socket? How's he going to come back and fight the winner? He's going to be out for this, that, and that. Firstly, let's calm down a little bit. We don't know when he says come back and fight the winner. We know that Pacquiao doesn't fight every 4 or 5 months. So the chances are Pacquiao's not going to fight after Ugas for another year or so. And who knows whether Pacquiao's going to fight again, because they're saying that there's elections next year in the Philippines. If Manny Pacquiao becomes the president of the Philippines, I don't know whether he's going to fight at all. So at the end of the day, let's relax a little bit. Ash was saying yesterday that he feels that Manny is not going to fight after this. This is it. We missed the boat. I disagree, because Manny Pacquiao has come out himself and said that he's willing to face Errol Spence next after Errol Spence recovers. So that's great news. It's great news that Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence are on the same page. It's great news, and that's what we want. That's what we want. I want to see this fight regardless. I want to see Pacquiao, because, to be honest, I want to see Pacquiao fight Crawford or Spence before he retires. I do. And who knows, maybe Pacquiao could fight Crawford. Maybe he says, you know what? Spence is going to be out for a while. Maybe Spence has missed the boat. Maybe Pacquiao says, you know what? I'll fight Terence Crawford. And I'm pretty sure none of us would be complaining about that fight. Would any of you be complaining about if Manny Pacquiao fights Terence Bud Crawford instead of Errol Spence? I certainly wouldn't, and I'm pretty sure none of you guys would be. So, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind Manny Pacquiao facing Crawford, because that, for me, Crawford's more accomplished than Spence in terms of what he's won, the career that he's had. Ash was right yesterday that he is more accomplished. You know, Spence may have a better resume, the better guy, he fought the better guys, but at the end of the day, Crawford's more accomplished and he's higher on the pound for pound list in most people's opinion. So it gives Crawford an opportunity to fight someone like Pacquiao, and it gives Pacquiao an opportunity to enhance his legacy. So yeah, I ideally I would like to see Pacquiao fight Spence, because I think, you know, that fight, everyone was hyped for it, and Spence has got more titles. Pacquiao beats Ugas, he becomes the WBA super champion. Then they can have a unification fight. Pacquiao will have 3 belts, and maybe he fights Crawford anyway if he beats Spence. But again, firstly, he's got to get through Ugas, which is no easy fight. And I'm going to do a separate video about that, because I think people are sleeping on Ugas. Ugas is a very, very good fighter. But it's great news that both Manny and Spence are on the same page, because I think we'll all agree that this is a fight that we're all gutted about that's not happening. You know, the reaction yesterday from everybody, regardless of the reason why you think the fight was off, was unanimously upsetting. Everybody was upset. Everyone was dejected. Everybody felt gutted that this fight's not happening. We're all in the same boat. We're all gutted. We all wanted this fight desperately. It was the biggest fight of the year, without question. But the fact is what's happened has happened. Now we wish Errol Spence a speedy recovery. And as Manny Pacquiao said, Manny Pacquiao would be willing to face Errol Spence next, hoping if he recovers from his injury. So let's hope that this fight does happen. You know, let's not stop the accusations. Let's just enjoy Pacquiao Ugas. We've got a fight. So let's enjoy Pacquiao. He's not got long left. You know, rather than bringing up all these conspiracy theories and stuff, let's enjoy what we've got left of Manny, man. You know, he may not fight again after this, man. Ash might be right. You know, I'm gutted, just like everybody else. I'm gutted that this fight's not happening. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, it happens. It's boxing. You know, when people are preparing for a fight, these things can happen. These things can happen, guys. When you're preparing for a fight, injuries and stuff, these can happen. You know, I wouldn't expect Spence going in there, you know, not at his best. And not against Pacquiao. It's too dangerous, because what you got to understand is a loss at this stage for Spence is devastating for his career. And surely you're not going to be going into a ring at this stage when you're a unified champion, you're undefeated against someone like Manny Pacquiao, when you know you're not 100%. Because you're not going to win. You know, you're not going to beat Manny Pacquiao if you're not 100%. Errol Spence has to be on his game, and even then he may not win. You know, this is a fight at the very highest level. You know, you can't go in there compromised, or you can't go in there with injuries, or you can't go in there not at your best, or with a serious injury like that. You can't, because you're not going to be successful at the top level. So for me, I think the best thing has happened. The only worry I have for Pacquiao is the fact that if Pacquiao does continue fighting, is how much more can his body take? He's 42. He's going to be pushing 43. How long is Manny Pacquiao going to be able to keep this up at this age? The back-to-back camps, take it out of you. You know, if the Ugas fight isn't going to be an easy fight, Ugas is a big dude. He's a very good boxer. So I am a little bit worried about back-to-back camps at this age. Can Manny continue to perform at that higher level at his age? It's going to be tough, because you're not talking about Manny Pacquiao fighting guys that are, you know, not that great. Like if he was in the 140-pound division, he'd beat those guys, because those guys aren't at the level. These guys are like top pound-for-pound guys. Spence, Crawford. These are seen as some of the best in the sport, period. So for Manny to be competing at that kind of level at this stage in his career is very difficult, and to be having back like Ugas for me would beat probably everyone at 140. This is the replacement, and Spence and Crawford are a level above Ugas. So you can imagine, this is what I'm trying to say, that Manny's operating at this stage of his career at a very, very high level. Very, very high level. These are, you know, Thurman, Ugas, these are big welterweights as well. These aren't small welterweights. Errol Spence, these are big welterweights. Physically bigger than Pacquiao. Physically strong. You know, good boxers. Technically sound boxers. This is what I'm trying to say. This is very, very hard for Manny Pacquiao at this stage. And this is why someone wrote a tweet. I don't know who it was. It was on my Twitter account. And somebody wrote a tweet saying that you've got to commend Pacquiao. that he's just pulled. Errol Spence has got injured, and Ugas has come in. And Ugas, who's a Olympic bronze medalist, you know, a world champion right now, a world class fighter. Manny Pacquiao's fighting him on short notice. Ugas, tell you something about Ugas. Ugas has won a lot of his last 12 out of 13 fights on 11 days notice. And for me, I believe he beat Sean Porter. So Ugas hasn't had it easy. Ugas has had a tough ride. Ugas has had a tough ride. And I'm telling you guys, he's a very, very solid fighter. Very, very solid fighter. Ugas is a great fighter. We haven't seen Pacquiao in a long time. We haven't seen him in 2 years. So we don't know what we're going to get from Pacquiao. We don't know whether he's still going to be the same. This is why every fight at this point in his career is intriguing. But I do worry about him saying he's going to fight Spence next. Because firstly, we don't know when Spence is going to get... Like, that retina injury could be a year. Could be a year and a half. We don't know. So hopefully it's a speedy recovery. But in a year's time, where's Pacquiao? Is Pacquiao still going to be fighting? Is Pacquiao going to take another fight? Because... let's not forget, the pandemic didn't help Pacquiao. That's why Pacquiao was out for so long. Manny Pacquiao was out for so long because of the fact that the pandemic didn't allow people to fight. So you got to realize that the fighters that haven't fought for 2 years, some of them, this was the reason that the pandemic stopped all fights. So otherwise, Manny Pacquiao probably would have fought maybe in 2020. He probably would have fought. But because of the pandemic, and so he wasn't able to. So that's why Pacquiao's been out for 2 years. This is why I think him being stripped was wrong. But now it's all going to be relevant because although Ugas is the champion, Manny Pacquiao's fighting Ugas for that belt anyway. So that for me is probably going to make the Spence fight even bigger. I think there's the Spence fight now, if they do fight, is going to be even bigger. So to be honest, if the fight does happen and the fight does come to fruition, I do think the fight's going to be even bigger. So everyone's a winner. Spence may get paid more money. Pacquiao may get a bigger guarantee, more money. The fight does more pay-per-view numbers, bigger pay-per-view numbers. So I think everyone's a winner if the fight happens. If it doesn't happen, then obviously we've lost because the fight's not happened. And we've lost another great fight. Dusty was saying yesterday that he felt that this was a legacy fight, history fight. Yeah, it is, you're right. But I believe it's still going to happen. I believe it's still going to happen. And if it does, everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner, you know. I just think that I can't wait for Pacquiao Ugas. And then I want to see whether the Pacquiao-Spence fight does come to fruition. I believe it will. I believe it will come. I believe Pacquiao-Spence fight will come to fruition. I believe it will happen. And we will see a cracker in the future. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be on August 21st. I did have weird feelings about this, that this may happen. But at the end of the day, the good news is that both fighters are saying that they're willing to fight each other. So it's not like it's off. Manny Pacquiao has said he's willing to fight Errol Spence next. Hoping he recovers. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.